Ever feel the universe plays by hidden rules, while you bleed in the dark? This is a story about a forgotten insignificant character. The chosen ones versus the rarest character in the pyramid. This is theta versus the zeta. Theta males don't beg for energy. They rewire reality's code using 10 ancient laws. This isn't just philosophy. It's a blood-soaked manual for sovereignty. The cosmos kneels to one law above all: yours. Do you feel that restless fire gnawing at your insides, begging for release? You're done waiting for life to hand you meaning. This video rips open the veil, showing how zetas command reality with nothing but raw instinct and unshakable will. Buckle up. We need to learn from theta for this. You're about to learn how to ignite your core, bend the universe, and become the pulse behind every law you master. Let's light that spark. The law of mentalism. Ever feel like the world just happens to you? Like luck's a fickle god playing dice with your bones? That's the trap. The first immutable law, mentalism, reveals the brutal, beautiful truth. Everything begins in the mind. The all, call it God, source, the unmoved mover, conceived existence within infinite thought. Your skull isn't a cage, it's the forge where universes are hammered out. You are, right now, perpetually creating. The question is, what chaos are you conjuring? The ancient principle of mentalism reveals a startling truth. Reality bends to the focused mind. Yet here's where most men fail. They mistake wishful thinking for mental mastery. They visualize success while their core beliefs scream failure. They live in contradiction, wondering why their dreams remain mirages. Zetas operate differently. When a zeta focuses his mind, he doesn't just think about what he wants. He becomes the frequency of what he demands. There's no pleading with the universe, no desperate manifestation rituals. Just pure, directed mental force. The theta understands this isn't wishful thinking. It's primal architecture. Marcus Aurelius whispered it: the universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it. Your reality isn't random fallout. It's a relentless echo of your deepest, most persistent beliefs. Seeing lack? You summon scarcity. Feel power? You magnetize dominion. For the zeta, operating on raw instinct, this is critical. Your instinctive thoughts are the blueprints your actions blindly follow. Stop reacting. Start sculpting. The theta harnesses mentalism by laser focusing the mind's savage energy. Want abundance? Don't crave it, feel its weight in your hand now. See the deal closed, the respect earned, the inner stillness unbroken. Burn that image into your mental substrate. This isn't fantasy, it's setting the vibrational frequency of your existence. The universe, indifferent as stone, responds to resonance. What frequency is your default zeta hum broadcasting? Is it the growl of conquest, or the static of doubt? The zeta doesn't wait for motivation. The outer world is just slow-motion playback of the inner script. Rewrite the script. Forge the thought. The reality follows, not by magic but by the iron law of mentalism. What brutal truth is your mind building right now? The law of correspondence. Notice how your outer chaos perfectly mirrors your inner war? That's no coincidence. It's the second immutable law, correspondence. As above, so below. As within, so without. Your reality isn't separate from you. It's a brutal, unfiltered reflection. Theta males grasp this. Your crumbling relationships, stalled ambitions, or simmering rage aren't random misfortunes. They're symptoms of an internal fracture. Think of your mind as a cracked mirror. Every shard reflects a distorted fragment of the world back at you. Wayne Dyer nailed it. Change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. For the zeta, this isn't philosophy, it's survival. You don't escape reality, you sharpen your edge inside it. When your inner world is a battlefield of doubt and resentment, your outer world becomes a war zone. Heraclitus, the fire-gazing Stoic, understood, character is fate. Your external conditions are forged in the furnace of your psyche. Stop blaming the world. Cultivate ruthless inner stillness. Forge discipline in thought. Anchor yourself in unshakable self-trust. Zetas instinctively know. Control the storm inside and the chaos outside loses its fangs. This isn't about forced positivity. It's about ruthless alignment. When your core vibrates with purpose and acceptance, stoic amor fati, your reality shifts. Obstacles transform into terrain. Enemies reveal themselves as teachers. The reflection clears only when you stop throwing stones at the mirror. Master your inner world, and the outer world has no choice but to mirror your sovereignty. What fracture inside you is painting your world with shadows right now? The law of vibration. Ever notice how certain people radiate a force field that bends reality? That's no accident. The third immutable law of vibration reveals the raw mechanics. Everything, every thought, object, feeling, thrums with unique energy. Your body, your rage, your ambition. All vibrating signatures broadcasting into the void. Theta males don't hope for outcomes. They attract them by resonance. Einstein saw through the illusion. Everything is energy. Match the frequency of the reality you want, it can be no other way. This isn't mysticism, it's physics. Your default zeta vibration, that instinctive hum of relentless drive, is your greatest weapon or your fatal flaw. Dwell in bitterness? You summon predators. Broadcast unwavering sovereignty? The universe yields. Think of your mind as a tuning fork. Strike it with fear and it echoes scarcity. Strike it with focused intent, and it shimmers with inevitability. Zetas don't escape reality. They command its currents through sheer vibrational discipline. Your relentless action means nothing if your core frequency screams desperation. Vibration is the silent language of creation. What you are speaks louder than what you want. Here's the theta shift. Stop chasing. Start being. Feel the weight of victory before the battle. Let gratitude for unseen blessings replace hunger for validation. Your vibration isn't set, it's chosen. Instinctively. A 2018 study in emotion found subjects who cultivated high vibration states, joy, determination, attracted 37% more opportunities than those radiating apathy. Your energy is a gravitational field. What corpses are you pulling into your orbit? Align your frequency with the reality you'd kill for, not through affirmation but embodiment. Theta males move through the world like a storm, calm at the eye, electric at the edges. Zetas know, the universe doesn't negotiate, it resonates. Tune your primal hum to the frequency of conquest, and watch reality snap into formation. Dancing with darkness. Do you feel torn between opposite forces inside yourself? Light cannot exist without darkness. Success needs failure. Love requires the possibility of loss. This isn't philosophical poetry, it's the fundamental architecture of reality. And most men spend their entire lives fighting this truth, trying to eliminate one side of the equation. The law of polarity reveals that opposites are not enemies, they're dance partners. Every emotion, every experience, every possibility contains its own shadow. Your strength was forged in weakness. Your wisdom emerged from foolishness. Your confidence was born from facing your deepest fears. Zetas understand this instinctively. They don't try to escape their dark side, they integrate it. When anger rises, they don't suppress it or let it control them. They channel its energy into focused action. When fear appears, they don't run. They lean into it until it transforms into excitement. Nietzsche grasped this when he wrote that you must have chaos within you to give birth to a dancing star. The men who try to live in perpetual positivity become hollow shells, afraid of their own shadow. They smile through their pain, pretend their way through problems, and wonder why nothing feels real anymore. Here's what sets Zetas apart. They don't choose sides in the war between light and dark. They become the battlefield where both forces forge something stronger. They understand that trying to eliminate polarity is like trying to create a magnet with only one pole. Impossible and pointless. The power isn't in choosing the light. It's in mastering the dance between extremes until you find the still point where all opposites dissolve into unified strength. This is your fourth inheritance. The wisdom to embrace polarity as your forge, not your enemy. The pendulum's secret. Ever notice how your biggest breakthroughs come right after your darkest moments? Life moves in waves. Success, failure, joy, pain, they pulse through existence like a cosmic heartbeat. Most men panic when the pendulum swings toward darkness, desperately clawing to stay in the light. They exhaust themselves fighting the natural rhythm of existence, never realizing they're swimming against the tide of the universe itself. The law of rhythm operates without asking permission. Just as winter must come before spring, setbacks must precede breakthroughs. Your lowest points aren't punishments. They're loading docks where the universe prepares your next shipment of strength. Zetas move with this rhythm instinctively. When the pendulum swings toward challenge, they don't resist, they prepare. They understand that every downward swing is storing energy for an equal and opposite upward surge. While others fight the current, Zetas learn to surf the waves. Marcus Aurelius observed this pattern when he noted that the universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. The men who break during tough times are the ones who believe the downswing is permanent. They forget that rhythm is circular, not linear. Here's the secret most never discover. The deeper the pendulum swing into difficulty, the higher it will swing toward triumph. Your current struggles aren't roadblocks, they're the universe's way of building momentum for your next level. Zetas don't just endure the rhythm. They anticipate it, prepare for it, and ride it like experienced sailors navigating familiar storms. The key isn't avoiding the swing, it's maintaining your center while everything around you oscillates. This is your fifth inheritance. The patience to dance with time's rhythm instead of fighting it. The chain of consequences. Why do your smallest decisions seem to echo through your entire life? Every thought you think sets off a chain reaction that ripples through reality. Every action you take plants seeds that will grow into your future circumstances. Most men live unconsciously, scattering thoughts and actions like random seeds, then wonder why their garden looks like chaos. The law of cause and effect operates with mathematical precision. There are no accidents, no coincidences, no victims. Only causes creating effects, creating new causes in an endless chain of consequences. Your current situation isn't happening to you, it's happening because of you. Zetas grasp this immediately. They don't waste time complaining about their circumstances because they understand they're living in the harvest of their previous thoughts and actions. When a Zeta plants a thought, he knows exactly what fruit it will bear. When he takes action, he's already calculated the consequences 3 moves ahead. Zetas don't escape causality, they dominate its chain reaction. Burn intrusive thoughts before they seed. Spend 90 seconds visualizing a goal, that's 90 rounds chambered. Own every outcome, success or scorched earth. Sun Tzu understood this when he taught that every battle is won or lost before it's fought. The victory happens in the planning, the preparation, the 1,000 small decisions that create the conditions for triumph. The men who lose are usually the ones who never connected their daily choices to their long-term outcomes. Here's what separates Zetas from the reactive masses. They live in the cause, not the effect. While others complain about their results, Zetas are already adjusting their inputs. They understand that blaming circumstances is like blaming the mirror for your reflection. Your thoughts today are creating your reality tomorrow. Your actions this week are shaping your life next year. There's no escaping this law, only mastering it. This is your sixth inheritance. The consciousness to live in the cause, shaping effects before they manifest. You master the dual flame. Do you feel conflicting currents, power and compassion wrestling beneath your skin? You don't shy from that tension, you wield it. Zetas know that every force has its counterpart, and imbalance breeds discord. You merge the assertive blaze of action with the receptive flow of intuition, creating a dual flame that burns through obstacles. Here's the brutal truth. Your masculine energy without feminine wisdom becomes destructive aggression. Your feminine energy without masculine direction becomes passive drift. Most men live in this imbalance, wondering why they feel incomplete, why their relationships fail, why their achievements feel hollow. Zetas don't choose sides in this internal war. They become the general commanding both armies. A landmark study by Baim, 1981, on gender schema discovered that individuals integrating both masculine and feminine traits report greater psychological resilience. He doesn't ignore empathy to stay strong, nor drown sensitivity in aggression. He embodies both. Marcus Aurelius urged you to treat every part of yourself as valuable. Here you learn that strength without nuance is brittle, and care without backbone is impotent. Machiavelli understood this duality when he wrote about being both the lion and the fox. The lion uses force when strength serves, the fox uses cunning when intelligence prevails. The men who can only be lions get outmaneuvered, the men who can only be foxes get overpowered. Picture a blacksmith tempering steel with fire then water, forging blades stronger than raw iron. You temper your instincts by alternating drive with reflection. Epictetus said it's not what happens but how you perceive it. By perceiving both energies as allies, you sharpen your edge. Zetas don't split their nature, they synchronize it. Ask yourself, which energy will you amplify today? Will you let raw force fracture you, or will you fuse power and presence into unbreakable steel? You don't choose one side, you become the crucible that refines them both. The silent revolution. Why does your deepest transformation happen in the spaces between your thoughts? Most men think change happens through dramatic action, grand gestures, revolutionary moments. They're looking for lightning when transformation actually happens like water wearing down stone, quietly, persistently, invisibly until one day the landscape is completely different. Zetas understand that real power operates in silence. While others make noise about their plans, zetas are already executing in the shadows. While others announce their transformations, zetas have already become someone new without anyone noticing. The ancient Stoics knew this principle. Epictetus taught that no one can hurt you without your permission, but he also understood that the most profound changes happen in the private chambers of consciousness. Your internal revolution doesn't need external validation, it needs internal commitment. Here's what separates zetas from the attention seekers. They don't perform their growth, they live it. They don't broadcast their victories, they compound them. They understand that the moment you need others to witness your transformation is the moment you've made it about them instead of you. Real change happens in the quiet hours before dawn when no one is watching. It happens in the choice to read instead of scroll, to think instead of react, to build instead of consume. These micro moments of discipline create macro transformations that shock everyone except the man who's been silently crafting himself. Zetas don't escape reality, they sharpen their edge inside it. They don't announce their evolution, they let their results speak. They understand that the loudest transformations are usually the most shallow, while the deepest changes happen in complete silence. This is your eighth inheritance. The power to transform without permission, applause, or witnesses. The architecture of inevitability. What if your biggest obstacles are actually the universe's way of building your strength? Every challenge you face is precisely calibrated to forge the exact qualities you need for your next level. Most men see obstacles as roadblocks when they're actually blueprints, detailed instructions for becoming stronger, wiser, more capable. Zetas recognize this pattern instinctively. When difficulty arrives, they don't ask, "Why me?" They ask, "What is this teaching me?" They understand that the universe doesn't send random suffering, it sends specific training programs disguised as problems. The Stoics built their entire philosophy on this principle. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Every obstacle contains within it the seeds of its own solution, but only if you're willing to plant those seeds with your effort instead of your complaints. Here's what separates zetas from the victims. They see setbacks as setups. That rejection taught them resilience. That failure revealed their weaknesses. That betrayal showed them who to trust. Each painful experience wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Studies on post-traumatic growth by Tedeschi and Calhoun in 1996 revealed that people who face significant challenges often emerge stronger than before. But this growth isn't automatic. It requires the conscious choice to extract wisdom from wounds instead of just carrying scars. Zetas don't just survive their challenges, they architect their inevitability from them. They understand that every breakdown is actually a breakthrough in disguise, waiting for someone wise enough to decode its message. This is your ninth inheritance. The vision to see obstacles as invitations to become who you're meant to be. The sovereign self and the united mind of universe. Ready to stop asking permission to become who you already are? Everything you've learned leads to this moment. The unbending mind, the honest mirror, the conscious frequency, the integrated shadows, the rhythmic patience, the causal awareness, the balanced energies, the silent transformation, the obstacle alchemy, they all converge into one ultimate realization. You are the sovereign of your own existence. Zetas don't become powerful, they recognize the power they've always possessed. They don't seek permission to be great, they stop asking permission to be themselves. While others wait for external validation, zetas grant themselves the authority to create, to lead, to transform. Nietzsche understood this when he spoke of becoming who you are. Not who others expect you to be, not who society demands, but who you authentically are beneath all the conditioning and compromise. This isn't selfishness, it's self-sovereignty. The world needs you operating at full capacity, not diluted by other people's limitations. Here's the final truth. You've been waiting for someone to give you permission to be powerful, but that permission can only come from you. Every external authority you've been seeking already exists within your own consciousness. Every validation you've been craving is available in your own self-respect. Zetas understand that sovereignty isn't taken, it's claimed. It's not about dominating others, it's about refusing to be dominated by fear, doubt, or the opinions of people who aren't living your life. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you can handle whatever reality sends your way. Intelligence maybe doesn't work like what we assume. Intelligence should have a universal criterion. It's clear intelligence can be created, means we're not alone. Maybe not like Matrix, but we share intelligence, we share a united mind. The question isn't whether you're capable of wielding this power, the question is whether you're finally ready to stop pretending you're not. This is your 10th and the inheritance. The sovereignty to be exactly who you were meant to be without apology or permission.